Okay, this is Coach Dez here, and I'm going to talk about the tales of two quarterbacks. So, last weekend, this past Saturday, y'all noticed that both quarterbacks were hurt. Now, we're going to talk about the Eagles versus the 49ers. Now, with the Eagles, the Giants didn't pay attention at all. I don't know how you did not know that he was injured in the first quarter when y'all, both men, tackled him after he did that 11-yard run. Because if you notice, when he did that, his first pass was 1 for 32, and after that they were all short drop-off pass. So they were catch and runs. Now I don't know what team you know that has projected to run 32 carries for 151 yards and 20 for 31 passes for 238 yards. But against the Giants, they were 44 carries for 268 yards and 17 for 25 for 160. You don't reverse those unless you're hurt. So he's getting time to rest this week, 49ers. I need y'all to pay attention. I'm not one for violence, but if somebody come back out there and they pretending that they're not injured, I'm going to test the waters. I'm rushing 6. I'm sorry, but I'm rushing 6. I'm going to see how hurt you are. So, therefore, this is called the tales of two quarterbacks. We'll talk about the second one when I get ready for it. But right now, I'm talking about you. So now, the question is which quarterback is going to show up? And will the defense on the 49ers show up? So now, I also noticed that, well, let's talk about, the Eagles defense. How can they stop the 49ers? Well, they give up a lot of yards right here, passing down the middle. They average about 12 yards per completion. But they're excellent at sacking, so they're going to sack. They average 4 sacks per game, 1 interception, and 1 fumble per game. And if these sacks are going to come, I'm projecting a sack to be in every quarter, 1 per quarter. You may get an extra one in this fourth quarter right here, but that's what I'm looking at. The interception could either come in the the second or the fourth quarter. The fumble will happen in the fourth quarter. So they rushing to the left is where they weak at. They give up more yards. But you know what I noticed that the Giants didn't notice? That they are weak on the right side. Go back and watch the game. When the Giants were able to pass the ball, they passed very well on the right side, as well as running the ball on the right side. They picked up a lot of yardage on the right side, but it was too late. They didn't capitalize when they needed to capitalize. And as far as to shut them down, they didn't do that either. Because if a quarterback is hurt, you need to see where he's hurting at. I noticed, me personally, when you look at their offense, and these numbers are not going to reflect what they did last week because this is an overall average. And so I have the little O's in here because I'm not going to risk trying to turn the board around. They average 6 yards per carry rushing right, 4 in the middle, and 5 down the left. But as passing, a left to the right, 11 yards, 15 down the middle, and 11 to the left. But that's when catch and finish running. He averaged about 7 yards passing. And after that, it was a matter of the runner continue to run after he caught the ball. You left him too wide open. You cannot do that. Sacks. He averages 2.4 sacks per game. Nothing as far as interception, but the team averages 1 fumble per game. So all I'm saying is this. It's going to be a tale of two quarterbacks. I don't think you're going to see these average numbers come this Saturday. And that is 32 carries for 151 yards, 20 for 31 for 238 yards. I don't think you're going to see that. What you see in yellow is what they did last week. They were reversed because his shoulder was hurting that bad. So as far as the 49ers for rushing, I got 30 carries for 142 yards, passing 19 for 30 for 236 yards. Now for the 49ers to beat the Eagles, they got to play against their weakness. So, like I said, their weakness is that right side. If I was you, I would run all day long on that right. You don't average much. They don't average much. They only average 4 yards per to the right, 5 down the middle, 6 to the left. But they average 10 yards per passing complete to the right, 14 down the middle, and 12 to the left. But for as far as sacks, interceptions, and fumbles, 1.7 sacks per game. They don't give up the ball that much, but they do, as a team, average about 1 fumble per game. Now, they are going to come after you and sack you. But I think you can get that ball off quick enough to where you need to play against their weakness. And that's where you will win this game at. On defense, you've got to stand your grounds. I would not, absolutely not, put everybody in that backfield. You got your 2 corners and your 2 safeties. Let them run with the wide receivers. And as I told you, the defense is right here. The tight end, I will be 9 up on the front line, 9 up. Or, and then the 2 will drop back. You got 7 right there waiting on them to run the ball. There's no way they should be able to get beyond that line of scrimmage if you holding your grounds right. So defense does get the matter of fact, the 49ers have almost the best defense there is as far as the run game. You can't get by them. They're only giving up 4, 3, and 4. So therefore, you got to come up with a different strategy plan. But passing, they're good at. They're bad at, because they give up 15 yards down the middle, 10 to the right, and 9 to the left. But they average 2.5 sacks per game, 1 interception per game, and 1 fumble per game. Oh, that's happening. I see that happening. So if the 49ers are going to win this game, they're going to win it on defense. And like I said, it's going to be the tales of 2 quarterbacks. Which one shows up? The one that's hurt? And you got to remember, 49ers, he's resting right now because that arm is hurting. That shoulder is hurting. And he cannot throw across to his left. But now to the right and to the middle, short drop-off passes, he's good. He was good at against the Giants. And then it was just a matter of the person catching the ball continuing to run and move his feet. That's why I said play up. Don't play deep. He's not going that far, especially if he's hurting. Go after him hard and keep going after him. And that's what's going to win the game. You, on the other hand, you're going to have you a DB back there to protect you. That's the only thing I can tell you, because y'all not going to be able to run that ball on the 49ers. So you're going to have to make some passes, because 20 passes is not going to work in this. Not if you want to go to the Super Bowl. So with that being said, I have the 49ers winning this game by 3.